Welcome, everybody, to a brand new episode of the SmackDown Live Recap here on Pro Wrestling Sheet. I'm your host, John Rocha, and I'm joined, as always, by the editor-in-chief of Pro Wrestling Sheet over there, Ryan Satin. He's got a nice new polo on. He's trying to, I guess, be better than us. He's trying to, promote himself.
You've got a collar on, too.
All of us. Well, you know what, Ryan? I'm of the people. So you can go ahead and wear your nice, fancy Banana Republic polo
also
shirts.
wearing a collared shirt and jeans combo.
Yeah, well, this is more of a people thing. Yeah, go ahead.
How are you, man? I'm doing an interview with Cody and Brandy Rhodes today. So for those of you watching on YouTube, I do look a little nicer because I will be sitting next to people who are in. Cody's gonna be like in a three-piece suit probably, and Brandy's gonna be all fancy. So I figured I should at least have a collar on my shirt to step it up a little bit.
I'd love it if they came in wearing jorts and like ripped shirts. That would be.
If that happens, I'm running my car. I brought a backup T-shirt just in case. But I already saw Brandy post a picture of of herself all glammed up, and
there it is.
They were already on KTLA this morning in a suit and stuff. So yeah, they're making the media rounds today. So we're
because the show debuts
next week.
Next week, so they're all doing the promotion now for it.
Dude, next week's gonna be crazy, man.
Ooh, dude.
Next week's gonna be the start of so much. Like they're already announcing more matches, and
you're gonna be super busy, man.
I can't wait.
You're gonna be crazy busy.
Yeah, I am. Right. I'm also gonna be in Orlando, so it's probably a terrible time to. I mean, I'm pumped, but I need to get on top of my stuff here as well.
Fair
it's
enough.
Gonna be a lot of stuff happening. I gotta sleep this weekend.
Yeah, get ready.
I got to. Oh, and Hell in a Cell is next weekend.
Hell in a Cell is next weekend as well. Yeah, and you know what? Stay in Orlando, October 18th, the Schmodown. I'm fighting with Dan Marley against Mike Kalinowski and Chance Ellison for the tag team title. So if you haven't got your tickets, go and do that as well. All right. Anyway,
cheap plug. Well done.
Yeah, thank you. We got ourselves a little our last SmackDown Live recap on this particular day to talk about here as SmackDown moves to Friday next week.
Before we good point. Good start before we get into the show.
Yeah.
The show is going. This SmackDown recap is going to go away for a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know, not forever. I'm just working on it. I have scheduling things I have to figure out here. I have to see how the week plays out. I want to see where other shows kind of fall, so I'm not putting my show out at the same time as other people. I'm working on. There's things I'm working on. So
there you go.
For now, since SmackDown Live is going away, the SmackDown Live recap is also going away for a brief period of time while I figure out a new schedule. For now, the Raw recap is staying where it's at on Tuesdays when it comes out Tuesday afternoon. But yeah, it's all a work in progress.
Yep.
There will eventually be some sort of Friday Night SmackDown recap. It's just I have a bunch of things I need to figure out. I'm only one man, and there's a bunch of things on my plate right now. So it will be coming back. But for now, yes, this will be the last Friday. This will be the last SmackDown Live recap. SmackDown Live recap, not SmackDown recap.
Not SmackDown recap. Good clarification. All right, are we done with the business now? Can we get into this thing?
I think we can get
All right, let's jump into this thing. This was a fun, essentially send off SmackDown Live into its new version. They're trying out a lot of new graphics last night that look badass.
Cool graphics.
Yeah, great graphics. That's what happens when you get an even better studio behind you in terms of Fox.
That Fox money.
You get that Fox money. You can afford to go a little higher end with your graphics. Not that there's anything wrong with WWE graphics.
I also think that, Fox and USA are such different brands.
Yeah.
USA they're mainly advertising their drama, their scripted content, and then they're great at that. They've got good shows that,
Absolutely.
Suits has been a very successful show.
Sure.
Mr. Robot,
right.
Obviously other ones, but there's not like sports content on USA besides WWE, right?
Not really.
Not really. So,
I mean, maybe the dog show, but that doesn't really count.
That doesn't count. Although dog show is awesome. I don't know if that counts. I don't know if that counts. You don't like dog shows? You've never watched a dog show then, because they're awesome.
have watched.
Do you like
dog
dogs?
Show. Yeah, I like dogs.
And you don't like dog shows where they're doing cool tricks and stuff?
No, man. You know why? Because my dog ain't no damn monkey. My dog would be a dog if I had a dog.
You just said my dog like you have a dog and then you don't even have a dog?
I don't have a dog.
Dog shows are awesome. Anyways, that threw me off. Anyway, Fox, the way they promote things is much more, I think, like flashy and in your face. Like, I think that the USA stuff is much more low key drama, commercial type thing, but Fox is very much like prime time, like throwing things in your face.
Well, NFL's on Fox.
NFL.
There's a lot on Fox.
They've done
sports, soccer, football. Yeah,
is it like NASCAR
NASCAR's
on Fox?
Baseball as well.
They have like tons of sports. Experience of like ways to draw in a viewer with a sports like mentality, while also having the other side of things with TV shows, like the eye-catching commercials for TV shows and dramas and comedy and all that kind of stuff. So they really know what they're doing with that kind of stuff at Fox in a much different way, and I think you can see that so far. To me, it's very evident in a lot of the advertising we've seen so far. Yeah. The way they've already started integrating the wrestlers into their content.
Yeah. Strowman calling a baseball game, for God's sake. That was insane.
Damn Keith Olbermann having to sully that moment.
Did he?
You didn't see that?
No.
When Keith Olbermann tweeted like, "Are you serious, Fox?" or something like that.
Dude, Keith, calm it down, son.
That's how I felt about the situation.
That's ridiculous.
But, and also when I see the advertising, like this Brock versus Kofi stuff, it has a much more, like the advertisements they were showing has a much more, like, it pops out at you more. Same with that graphic for the Charlotte, the tag team match that's going to be at the next show. So yeah, I agree with you. I think the visuals of the show, the kind of the new stuff they were showing off, was very noticeable, and I liked it.
Yeah, enjoyed it as well. Let's get into it now. The show starts off with Erick Rowan out there in the ring talking. They played a package of his stuff from last week and the last few weeks. But he comes out talking about how he's the one. He's intellectually superior to Daniel Bryan. He's got all that stuff going on. He's tired standing behind people. He's got his thing going on here. And of course, we saw that what's his face came back last week. His former partner, Luke Harper, and so that's all in the mix now. But Daniel Bryan comes down, fully ready to wrestle. And Justin is tights there, or his Speedos, whatever you want to call them.
And he
just says,
no, those are trunks.
His trunks, right. And so he just says, you want to fight somebody, fight me. And it's on. Yeah. Just like that, it's on. And they have a really good wrestling match.
Like a long one, too.
Yeah, and initially Rowan is totally controlling the entire offense at the beginning. And the thing is, this is such a revelation to see Rowan doing his thing, battling. But I will say, as the match wore on, you could tell that Rowan is not used to wrestling long singles matches.
Fair.
There were some like botchy moments. He was a little slower,
limited.
Yeah, limited
in some of the stuff that he had because he hasn't had to go into that gear maybe as much in a singles match.
You sense the endurance was a little off near the end. He was like a half a beat slow on some of the moves and blah blah blah. And then of course everything broke down. And we'll get to that. But first, let's talk about all this: the promo and the match itself.
The promo was fine.
Yeah.
The Erick Rowan stuff. I don't dislike him talking as much as everyone else. I like that he's finally.
People have issues with him talking?
Well, people are just saying he shouldn't be talking as much as he is.
Oh, that's bullshit.
People are saying that he should be keeping more quiet.
That's bullshit.
And being more of a silent type. I get both arguments, but at the end of the day, I like that they're letting him talk.
Yeah, me
I like
too.
that they're, at the end, we always talk about how they're not developing new talent or giving people opportunities.
Good
and
point.
then when they do it, we bitch about it.
Yeah.
Not we collectively, but like a lot of people bitch about it. And then you go, well, like, then why they're relying on stars of yesteryear in the advertising. It's because you're not giving the new guys a chance.
Right.
I thought Seth Rollins. I thought Erick Rowan did a really good job here. I think he's been doing a good job since they've been giving them the opportunity.
Yep.
I liked Daniel Bryan coming out and doing his thing. I love also with Daniel Bryan that he is so beloved.
Yeah.
That the fans, like, it doesn't matter what he does. Like if he wants us to boo him, we'll boo him.
Yeah.
If he wants us to cheer him, we're cheering him.
You're right.
Like we're going whatever he wants. And
That's the ironic
I love
nature of it all. It's almost like that. And it's a great point you bring up, Brian. This is how the fans show their love for Daniel by going, "What do you want us to do? We'll do it."
Exactly. It's similar to when Stone Cold, when they were all doing all the what's for Stone Cold. I mean, I'm not saying Daniel Bryan's necessarily on the level of Stone Cold, but like it's similar in that regard, where like everyone was doing the what with Stone Cold, and when Stone Cold said, "Hey, give us a second,"
yeah,
that crowd shut the hell up and let Stone Cold do his thing because they weren't trying to disrespect him.
Right.
I agree with you that it definitely shows the love and respect that the crowd has for Daniel Bryan, that it's like the second he started like leaning into his signature moves again, you're like, oh yeah, he's coming back. He's coming back. Yeah. And he still hasn't fully yesed it yet. Like he
well, he did at the end when he asked for that one-word answer.
He did it. Sorry, he asked for the answer, but I feel like we still have that one moment where he starts doing the yes thing. The thing I was talking the other day where he has to have that moment where like the yes overcomes him and he starts doing, because if I recall correctly at the end of the thing, he didn't start doing the yes chant with him. He asked for them to start saying yes. Right. But he didn't do it yet because you know he's saving that for a certain. Because when he does it again, the crowd's gonna be like, "Ah!"
Yeah, they'll go insane.
The match itself, though,
good match, man.
It really was a good match. I think that despite, maybe Rowan leaning on some of the same maneuvers repeatedly, because I was saying that he, maybe hasn't had to go in that long of a singles match. I still think he was very impressive here. I think that he showed that he can go.
Yep.
I liked the match. I think that I like his Iron Claw choke slam. Yeah. I'm into all of it. Yep. So I liked it. I liked that because he got the win, right? Because because he, if I recall correctly, and correct if I'm wrong here, Luke Harper makes himself
interfere.
Well, he didn't interfere. He makes his presence felt.
Yes, that's fair.
Daniel attacks him.
Yeah.
Then Rowan pulls Daniel back in the ring, does the Iron Claw chokeslam and
gets the win,
or I guess can't call it a chokeslam, the Iron Claw slam.
Right.
And then Luke Harper and them came in and beat him up.
Yeah,
right?
They start to beat him up, and then Roman Reigns comes down, kind of saves the day, and then they're left standing in the ring, Reigns and Bryan. And Bryan, this is what he says. What we just mentioned a few seconds ago. Bryan says, I just want to hear one word answer. Do you want to see me and Reigns against these guys at Hell in a Cell? I thought, and the truth, to be honest with you, there was a moment there where Bryan was like getting up all hobbled. I thought either Reigns was going to hit him or Bryan was going to hit Reigns to kind of stay kind of in the halfway place. But no, this is clearly him moving towards the face situation.
I still feel like Daniel might be more involved than he's letting on. I don't know that.
That could be something.
But I just feel like he might be more involved in all this than he's letting on.
At like some critical moment at Hell in a Cell when it's like Roman Reigns really needs him.
He drops to his knees.
And Daniel Bryan does the whole, And
actually, we find out that Rowan has been the mastermind. He is the intellectual superior to Daniel Bryan, and that's why Daniel started doing whatever Rowan wanted, including letting himself be beat up as a martyr for the whole story, so that when Rowan was least expecting it, they could take him out of WWE.
Oh my God, that'd be brilliant, because I could see Bryan's promo standing over Reigns going, you thought I was the brains. I'm not the brains. He's the brains. He's smarter. He knew better. But just putting him over like crazy, that would be hilarious.
Because I feel like Daniel has been so badly wanting to get the Bludgeon Brothers over, or help them in some way. I don't know. He's always been so linked to them. I just feel like, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I could totally be wrong.
Yeah.
I just feel like there's something there that Daniel has been doing all of this, and that's why he didn't even do the fingers. It was like, you're all so fickle. You were willing to take me back just like that.
Yeah.
Just because I said yes. Are you that stupid? I don't know. I just feel like Daniel was on such a hot streak with this heel character that he was doing.
Yeah.
As much as I'm pumped to see him doing the yes stuff again, as much as I'm pumped to see him kind of like leaning back into it, I just feel like we could be in for a big swerve here still.
Yeah, I liked it. Yeah, oh, absolutely. And I liked it. I think I'm a big fan of it. And we'll see if it is the swerve or if they're going to just have him go full face. But there's something there.
Because where do you, let's say you go full face with Daniel.
Yeah.
I don't feel like there's as much meat on that bone at this point.
There isn't.
Unless you really load up the SmackDown roster, right? Which they're probably going to do because of Fox, and you keep Daniel there.
Right.
And you got Daniel versus like a bunch of like the hot up-and-comers, like Andrade and stuff like that. But still, I feel like Daniel Bryan leading Luke Harper and Rowan, not leading, being led by Rowan for once and Harper for once is kind of a fun.
Well, it could work too in this way. If you're going to move Rollins over to SmackDown and keep him face, Rollins maybe saves the day to a degree at Hell in a Cell. And then at that point, you go, if he loses the title and then jumps, then at that point it makes sense.
Green Family versus the Shield reunion, something like that.
Sense. You can't get Moxley, but certainly you can find somebody. Yeah. I'm sure Angle's got his vest still in his closet.
He's just waiting on that call again. He's waiting for his Shield phone to light up. He's just got a Shield burner phone sitting in the corner somewhere. waiting for doo-doo,
his burner phone.
doo-doo.
I know it finally.
Ringtone that he has set to it.
We move on here, and we'll see what happens. We'll move on here to.
I know that's how the Shield reunites.
Oh my God!
And they all just have a burner phone with the Shield theme song as the ringtone. If it rings, you know you have to put the vest on and just go to action.
Oh my God! I could just see the camera there with Moxley and Renee. And then the thing goes off while they're having breakfast, and she's like, "No, no."
She's got some like cool 70s record playing. She's made some fancy egg meal for them, and he's like, "But babe, the Shield phone has gone off.
Like they're in
you
the
don't
middle.
even work there anymore." I know, but babe, the Shield phone.
Like in the middle of
Turn it
eating,
off.
and all of a sudden you're done, and they both just freeze with their mouths open. And she goes, "No,
Don't you think about it, John.
you do this. I won't be here when you get back." Anyway, let's move on.
I just picture cartoon dust flying up in that moment. You know, ding. I love it.
You bastard! All right, Michael Cole does another one of his.
Moxley.
One of his signature interviews here with Kofi Kingston. We go to a vignette, interview in the back there, and fun stuff. Kofi talking about how Cole needs to be a little more into the WWE stuff, but also talks about Lesnar stuff, like where he's going to go, what he wants to do, and how he can handle all these challenges over and over again. Once again, Cole does a nice job with this, so I enjoyed this.
I actually, if they're going to do more of these Cole sit-down interviews, I think it's a great idea.
Yep.
I think that if they want to present a more sports-like feel, I think these kind of add to that.
Oh, absolutely.
These little sit-downs are good character-building things. And you and I talked about it last week where we were like, well, why would you just accept after that? But then I had said, I don't know, I feel like it's because of his legacy. And that's 100% what he said in here. I said I was going to be a fighting champion.
Yep.
I'm going to be that fighting champion. I'm going to build my legacy. And I like that, he despite him being... my favorite part about Kofi is that he's wearing extravagant colors.
Yeah.
He's got unicorns and rainbows all over his clothes. He's throwing pancakes, things that one normally wouldn't consider maybe like cool, quote unquote.
Right.
But I love that he's made that stuff cool.
Yeah.
And him just
He's
sitting
himself.
there, like being himself in his New Day gear, just holding the belt. Like, I was like, man, that guy's a badass. That guy is cool.
Yeah.
And I love it. Like, I love that he's just cool. And the fact that he is from Beast in the East, I think it was called, when it was New Day versus Brock, to now, like, to see the progression of Kofi and to see, the fact that he that he's gonna stand toe to toe with Brock now and not just be squashed like he was in Japan for that WWE Network special. It's cool.
Yeah.
It's really cool. And I love it. I thought this was great. I thought this was like nothing to really nitpick here. I just thought they did such a good job of making Kofi look badass and cool, which to me is so important.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you. I enjoyed it as well. And you're right. He's a different kind of champion, especially a champion who's held the belt this long. He has stayed with the bright colors, stayed with these kinds of things, all this kind of jazz, and it's really worked for him. And, so there's kind of a relaxed approach to it that Kofi has when he's in the ring. He's all business, but when he's talking about it, he's not going to go like, and I'm going to tell you something else. That's not his style.
No.
So he's made it work for himself. Even Cole being skeptical throughout the interview, I really liked. Like, oh, I don't know, he's kind of big. I don't know, he's just big. But Kofi's not. Whatever, man. I've beaten all these people. I'm in the ring. I want to fight everybody. And
That's one of those things you mentioned him just being himself when he talks. That's not an easy thing to do.
No.
I see people on the internet sometimes where they'll harp on certain wrestlers for falling into the same patterns.
Right.
Saying, you see, certain little things like that.
Get these hands. Yeah.
And they're right. It is not natural. Not get these hands. I'm talking about little ticks like that, not their catchphrases. But little ticks
Almost slid it in there. Here you go.
little ticks that people do that you can tell where they're reading a script.
Yes.
And that kind of stuff just comes with experience acting, So I like that when Kofi is talking, like you said, it feels so genuine to who he is. It feels real. Like just like movies, the best part of wrestling is when they can blur the line between reality and fiction.
Yeah.
And I think Kofi does that in terms of like, he's talking as himself. He doesn't feel necessarily like a character. He feels like a guy who's being himself all the time.
Yes.
And that guy happens to be goofy when he's around his friends, but he also can handle business. And I really like what they've done with Kofi.
Yeah, me too. And I look forward to look forward to the match, and then we'll see where it goes from there. If he wins or loses, I have a feeling that he's gonna win.
I think he's gonna win. I think he's gonna win too.
Yeah, a lot of people think, oh, Lesnar would get the belt because it's promoting the thing, but no, I think it promotes even more if you have an incredible match against this huge beast.
And someone beats Brock Lesnar in his first TV match in 15 years or whatever.
Because Lesnar doesn't need it. He's already so over and so worldwide known. Kofi needs it, and especially the fans will love it watching an underdog fight this beast.
I also think, and to further that, I think you need, if Brock's not going to be doing tons of media,
right?
I think when the move happens, you need your champion on every single Fox show as possible,
Absolutely.
and Kofi will do that.
And especially a jovial champion, a fun champion, a champion who can add a little bit of life to whatever he's going to go on. That just makes the most sense. Yeah.
Completely agree with you.
Well, speaking of, in reverse or the opposite of life, that's the Mike Kanellis battle here with Chad Gable. My God. What was the effing point of this other than put Gable on television and then, of course, have the Elias thing, which, dude, if they're going to put him...
You said, wait, just real fast.
I mean,
I like how you said, what was the point of putting this on television? And then you answered your own question with two good points.
The answers are not good. That's
They're
what I'm
not bad
getting
answers.
at. Oh, no, because don't put Elias in a program with Gable. You want to drag Gable back down, put him in a program with Elias. Because then you're just using Gable to elevate Elias, and that doesn't make sense to me because Gable defeating Elias ain't a big deal.
I disagree. Corbin and Gable.
Go ahead.
I just like that. I wish I could remember what point in the show that was so I could clip that out because that was such a good reaction from you. Someone gift that. That was so good.
Give it up.
I want to see Rocha's reaction. That was great. Gable, we just talked yesterday about how Gable and Baron Corbin have elevated each other to a certain degree.
Yeah.
Why? And you have talked about how you think Elias is very talented in the ring, you even wanted him to be in the finals against Corbin. So why can't
But he didn't.
Gable and Elias elevate each other, since it makes perfect sense that Elias would be angry at Gable since Gable took his spot in the King of the Ring.
Right, but Elias is not at that level to where the perception-wise, Gable beating him is a big victory. It's not.
No, not even that. I'm just saying, why can't the
serves
two
to
of them
help.
bring each other up by
Gable's already
having
up.
good Okay, wait a second. Literally a week and a half ago, you were telling me how Gable is not over at all.
And then last week
now
I said
suddenly
I
he's
see the difference.
Above Elias?
Well, I would actually put him above Elias.
Elias has been featured on TV for the past year and a half longer.
Yeah, but if you compare the pops for now, when Gable walks out versus Elias walking out.
Well, one's a heel, one's a face.
Right, but okay, fine. If you want to compare the pop versus the heat, that's fine with me. I don't care.
People hate
I know
Elias.
the terms. I know the terms. But if you walk out to give him the pop versus the heat, I guarantee you're going to get a higher pop than a higher heat.
Are you making popcorn right now?
I'm just saying. I just feel like Gable's where he's at, and putting him with Elias is dangerous because it may drag him down because Elias is not seen by many fans as this kind of like tough, difficult thing for him to defeat.
But
Whereas
what a point
Corbin has the victory over him with the King stuff.
But we've been saying that Elias should be put into an actual feud where he's wrestling and not just
Shinsuke. That's more valid.
Those are both heels.
Now we'll turn him face. What do you fucking care? He switches all the time. So I just got to say.
He
switches all the time.
But it makes such perfect sense that Elias would target Gable, who took his spot in the tournament.
Yeah, but is Gable now moving off the Corbin, or is he fighting two feuds at once?
I think he's fighting two feuds at once. And like we said before, Elias and Corbin have been aligned before in the past.
Right. Well, that proves my point then. If Gable is fighting two feuds at once, then Gable is more over than Elias.
I don't think Elias is now. He's only gone for like a couple weeks.
No, it's not about being gone. It's about like, the reaction of the fans. And I don't think he's there yet.
I don't know. He had that dope match with Ali.
He did. It was a good match.
And that was right before he got injured. I think he could have just as entertaining a match with Chad Gable. So I welcome the feud between the two of them.
Gable has to make some foot jokes.
He does have to make some foot jokes.
You have to make some foot jokes. If you're gonna go next level, brother man, you got to know how to play the tween game. And I think for him, he's got to make some foot jokes.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, that's the way to go. Anyway, all right, so we're setting that up. Let's move on to the vignette in the back here between Charlotte, which now looks like...
Also, real fast, we should mention also that, Mike Bennett got just squashed.
Oh, yeah, Mike got destroyed. What a shock. Whatever, talking about size that matters. Well, dude, if I re-signed and this is what they were doing with me, I would just be like...
But what if it was the difference was you weren't on TV before for 2 years or whatever, and now
was I still getting paid?
Yes.
Yeah, cool, fine.
So you'd prefer to...
I prefer
Because you're one of those people who says, sometimes it's not about the money. So
it isn't.
For
some people.
What if he just wants to be on TV? So now he's like, great, I'm on TV every week.
Then great. That's the way you're built. I'm talking about me personally.
Yeah, I couldn't be called a bitch on TV.
Thank you. I'd rather collect my check and sit at home than to be called a bitch on television.
But also at the same time, right?
Or get my release so I can go to another federation.
It's a tricky situation in my opinion because like in his defense, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know this, but from looking at the past, you think, okay, he didn't use me for 2 years or whatever, Vince, 3 years, whatever, however long it was.
Right.
It was a long time.
Right.
Barely used me. I sat at home. If I let this guy script them to call me a piece of crap every week, to call me a bitch, to say my wife's effing other dudes, which I know she's not. If I'm confident enough in my own life to take that shit, right, then there's a good chance that me taking that shit for, let's say, a year and a half, 2 years, me just eating that shit, loving it, saying, thank you, sir, right? You employed me while I was recovering from drugs. You repaid me and my wife while my child was being born. If the way I can pay you back is to go on TV for a year and a half, 2 years, and just be made a fool of, then the return could possibly be a job for life.
Could.
In that regard, you maybe do it.
Maybe, but who's 3MB again?
Heath Slater.
Thank you.
He's still got a job.
Yeah, but you could end up like Heath Slater. Which is an afterthought.
But I'm just saying, Heath Slater doing those things is precisely why when people get released, he's not one of them because they know that if they really need to, Heath Slater is over whenever they need him to. Because every time they pull him out of their little shelf and they go, hey, look, we're making Heath Slater do something, whether it's being the referee, teaming with Rhino,
my kids thing.
the I've got kids thing, all that stuff. That time I think he wrestled against Seth Rollins in the main event. I think. All those things, he always delivers.
Sure.
And he always does exactly what's asked of him. Even if it makes him look like a silly dude, he always, and that's why he will also have a job for a very long time. He's been there since FCW.
I know.
Since he was like in his 20s.
I get that, but what's your legacy?
But some people
they just want a job, and I get that.
Not even just want a job.
I'm not built that way.
Not everyone wants to be Hulk Hogan.
To my frustration.
Some people don't want. Not everyone wants to be Hulk Hogan. Though.
Yeah, I envy those people.
Some people want to be Honky Tonk Man. Some people want to be. You know what I mean?
Wait a second.
Yeah.
Don't you sully the name of the Honky.
I'm just saying some people want to be lower on the card.
Champion.
Just saying. Some people want to be lower on the card, you know? Like, Honky Tonk was never a main eventer,
you know? You know what? It's just true. A few years ago, 10 years ago, I dated a girl she was happy being a backup dancer on Broadway shows. And I said to her, don't you want to be a lead? Don't you want to be up there, one of the main? She's like, no. I don't want that pressure. I don't want that thing. I know I'm not built to do that. And I'm happy being in one of the backup dancers because that's going to be consistent work until the end of my life. If I go become a star, then I have to find star stuff. And if I don't find star stuff, if I was taking lower stuff, then my stature or the perception of people about me will be, oh, and then if I end up a backup, that's even worse. And I was like, oh my God, I don't understand that. Like, I don't understand the mentality.
I don't have that mentality, but I get it. Yeah,
I get it. I just don't look at it that way. Like, I don't feel that way.
Well, I mean, like, I could have gone to work somewhere. But I didn't want to because I was bored. But I 100% understand that mentality too. After doing this for almost 5 years, I'm like, maybe I should have just gone to work somewhere. But no, I'm happy with what I've done here. I'm kidding.
You built something. But
I get it. You know, like I do get that mentality to a certain degree.
Of course.
So I don't know. It's a real catch-22. Like, what if he just wants a job for life? Like, what if he knows, like, I'm not gonna like, clearly based on what's happened so far.
Yeah.
At least at this point, if I don't do something different, I'm not going to be The Rock. I'm not going to be Stone Cold Steve Austin in this company. But what if I can be Patterson and Briscoe?
Right.
Those guys made fools of themselves, and they are the most beloved people in WWE history at this point.
But they made, like, later in life. Heath is still in his prime. Patterson and Briscoe weren't jokes.
I realize that. I realize that.
You know, that's the same thing with Sergeant Slaughter. Slaughter was massive.
But there are people who are jokes to a certain degree in their prime that made a lot of money.
Sure, as we're talking about
and are still successful and have healthier bodies because of it too.
Probably. As we're talking about, Poffo. Milani Poffo was never like savage. He was always this kind of the genius and all that kind of stuff. It was all for fun.
And some people would love to have a career like that. It's similar to Hollywood in the entertainment industry. Some people don't want to be the director.
It's like a character.
Some people just want to be part of the crew and move from crew to crew, or even follow the same director and like, hey, he's leading the show. I got this one job. I want to do this one job, make that guy happy, so I have a job for life. It's not the dumbest thing to do.
No, it's not. You're right.
And he's got 2 kids now. Well, he's gonna have 2 kids very soon.
Right.
Well, if it's his child, So, but I get it. That's the only thing I think of when I see all that. So I mean, it's not the worst thing to take shit like that.
That's fair.
I mean, like,
I think it'd be for us though.
Working at TMZ wasn't always the funnest thing, you know, or the most. It was hard work and tough times and not.
No job
fun.
is perfect.
Yeah, but it got me to a place where I wanted to be and for the future. So I don't know. I just think that like. I see why someone could take that, but also I understand anyone who maybe wouldn't want to do that as well.
Another way to look at it too, real quick and we'll move on, is like it's a character actor.
Exactly.
He's never going to be a lead, but happy being a character actor.
Exactly.
Doing whatever because I get paid.
Yes.
I get to live a certain life. I get to afford my house, my kids, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I get that.
I mean, you mentioned Urkel the other day or whatever, but like Urkel still gets pretty fat royalty checks.
I don't know.
You don't think Urkel still gets pretty fat royalty checks?
Yeah, maybe that moved into the Cosby slot. The Family Matters now.
Family Matters has been in long-time syndication since I was a child.
Yeah, but I mean, maybe, as now the premier black family show in syndication.
That's what I'm saying. You don't think he gets royalty checks?
Yeah, maybe.
Jonathan Taylor Thomas still gets royalty checks.
Yeah,
like those people all... Like a lot of those people still live off those off those royalty checks because they played one character for 15 years or 10 years or whatever.
Yeah.
More power to them.
Fair point.
Look at Frankie Muniz.
Yeah.
Frankie Muniz is so rich.
We're trying to get him into Collider.
Never has to work a day in his life.
Probably.
Because of Malcolm in the Middle. Because he played one character. And yes, he is pigeonholed as Malcolm for life.
For the rest of his life.
He also has money for the rest of his life. He can do literally whatever he wants because of that money.
But some people break under that, right? Like Dustin Diamond, Screech. Like Screech broke.
He doesn't have Malcolm money, unfortunately.
Right. I mean, that's
the Saved by the Bell cast got a little screwed in that regard.
Yeah, exactly.
They were.
But Screech is a tough guy. Right. Anyway, we're
way off. Bagel Boss guy.
We're way off.
Oh, I can't wait to see Screech fight Bagel Boss guy. It's so much better than Lenny Dykstra.
Yeah, we're way off. Lenny Dykstra.
It was going to be Lenny Dykstra versus Bagel Boss guy in one of those celebrity boxing fights.
Are they fighting? Wait, are you talking for real?
Yeah, it was going to be Lenny Dykstra.
The little bagel dude?
Yeah, versus the little bagel dude in one of those celebrity boxing fights. But then apparently this week Lenny Dykstra pulled out and his replacement Screech. So now it's Screech versus Lenny Dykstra.
That's what Lenny does best.
I'm so mad it wasn't like a big buff girl. It should have been a big buff girl. That would have been the best thing ever.
Diamond against a woman?
No, Bagel Boss guy against a tall woman.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Because that's who he was angry about.
Yeah, he was angry about.
If they had gotten some tall, big woman just come in there and just like, boom. Oh, it would have been the best. That would have been the best vindication.
Awesome Kong?
Throw her in there. Let her just beat him down.
Yeah, agreed. All right, can we move on now?
We can move on.
Thank you, Jesus Christ. All right, anyway, in the back there, we have what appears to be a full Charlotte face turn now. She comes in to talk to Carmella, talking to R-Truth. R-Truth trying to play like he doesn't know who Carmella is. Then Carmella comes out.
Who's Carmel?
Who's Carmel?
Who's Caramel? That's who's Caramel.
I don't know who Caramel is. Well, she walks out. They have an interaction. Then Charlotte walks off, and Carmella is very gracious or very grateful to R-Truth. Then we get out to the match here, and it's Sasha Banks and Bayley versus Charlotte Flair and Carmella. This was a damn fun match. Good match. Carmella, my girl. She bringing it. Bringing it. She was doing so well.
Those of you guys who've been listening to this show for a while love hearing that. Yesterday, it's him and
you misrepresented me yesterday, by the way, on Twitter. That is not what I said, man. And
I said basically.
No.
I used the word basically.
There's transcripts that give you the whole words, and there are transcripts with ellipses, and there's a difference. And I'm telling you right now, it was a lot.
Put out the redacted version.
Yeah, you put out the redacted version.
I had to whistle blow on you. I'm sorry.
That's what you come here for. Topical entertainment. No, but I mean, what I said about the Iconics was if they turn face and let them wrestle like they wrestle NXT, then I will be a fan. Not I'm a fan now.
You said he likes them, basically.
No, I did not. Anyway.
You heard that? I thought I said it quiet enough.
Yeah,
sorry.
I heard you, of course. I'm always
for the audio listeners.
What did you think overall about this match and this matchup and Carmella now being kind of in the mix as we were mentioning last week or 2 weeks ago?
I liked it. It was a really good match.
Yesterday, actually, we mentioned
she brought it. Everyone brought it.
She really did bring it.
Carmella, I like that she's kind of like, even though she hasn't been necessarily a prominent fixture in the women's division at this point because she had been doing everything with R-Truth. I liked that she she reminded everyone like why she was before that, why she had a long time reign. It was like, so last night felt like her and a few others were like trying to remind people like, yo, there's a reason why I was champion. Like there's a reason why I'm over. Even though I'm doing this other thing, don't forget. And I feel like she really did that. I like that Sasha Banks won again, that she got the submission victory. And my favorite part is that Truth is such a good friend again. Is that Truth? I love that the second Carmella lost and was kind of like near him, he like rolled her out of her lifeless body out of the ring, because from experience, he knew the train of 24/7 title contenders were coming. And so like preemptively, he's like, nope, been here before, but on the other end, rolled her out, put her on his shoulders, and started running out like it was an NXT challenge back in the day, competition challenge. Starts running out with her on his shoulders, and sure enough, right on target or right on time, the whole mob of people starts running after. They're all chasing her. And then one of my favorite moments of SmackDown occurs where Truth runs away. The women are all chasing, and Kairi Sane is at the end of the line of people, and she has her spyglass or telescope or whatever, and she's running with the telescope in her eyes as she's chasing, as if she's like, that's how she's following behind. That killed me. I was dying. I love when I tweeted the GIF too, how many people pointed out that if she falls doing that, she would literally poke her eye out. She could. And that she should not be doing that. But hey, she's a pirate princess. She knows what she's doing. She's a professional. She's aware of it, I also, it's funny, sometimes I feel like a moment like this with those train of people is a perfect example of when Twitter overreacts too quickly before the show's even over. And so like I saw everyone kind of complaining, Asuka and Kairi Sane, they're just in the line of people, like that's what they've been relegated to. Part of the 24/7.
Part of the fun of the show.
It is. But then they had a match later in the show. So and they were showcased. Part of the show. So I thought it was funny that everyone was quick to throw out the tweet of like, oh, how could they? And then like 20 minutes later they were in a match, and it was like, oh. Never mind. But I like the match. I like the 24/7 title stuff involving all the women. This was definitely a hit.
So we're left with Sasha and Bayley in the ring, and they are about to take Charlotte to pieces. And then Becky Lynch comes out, kind of clears out the ring, beats up Bayley, beats up her throw of Sasha. Sweet Mary Mother of God. That was halfway across the ring. Bayley was a little more closer, but Sasha got thrown halfway across the ring. It was pretty great and brutal. And then she's about to do the disarmer on Sasha when Bayley grabs Sasha and they run out. And that comes back a little bit later. So that was a fun thing. And Becky just coming down. No belt, no nothing to handle business. That's Stone Cold. Coming right out just to walk straight to the ring to handle business. That's how Stone Cold used to do it. There's shades of it there, and I love it.
Yeah, no, I also love it. I think they've done a great job of making Becky seem like a badass.
Yeah.
No question.
Totally. All right, let's move on to Shinsuke Nakamura and Ali. They go at it in this incredible match. Sami Zayn comes out, does the promo about Shinsuke. Shinsuke comes out. Ali and him go at it. This was a really fun match for the amount of time that they had. I enjoyed the match. Would I like a longer match? Absolutely, and I think that's coming. But this was fun to watch.
Yeah, I agree. Sammy and Nakamura are starting to catch their groove a little bit.
Agreed. Yes.
And I like what they've been doing with Ali. It was a good match. I don't have like a ton to say about this match, unfortunately.
Because they both fought well.
Yeah.
They have chemistry in the ring.
Yes.
There were some great high-flying flip-over moves that worked for both of them. And the ending made a lot of sense because Ali got caught up chasing Sami Zayn and they got the Kinshasa and lost.
Yes.
And as well he should.
Yes.
So it works overall, and it maybe puts Ali in a position where he will get the belt off Nakamura now because of this.
I don't know if I think they're going to give him a belt yet.
I don't know if it'll do it in the next pay-per-view, but I think it's in the cards right now.
Intercontinental title?
Yes. If you want to build him back up, because look, when Nakamura came out with the title, I was like, oh yeah, because the title hasn't really been a big deal to be defended since he won it. So it's not like he's elevating the title or the attention to the title. So if you put it on someone like Ali, there's possibilities because you want to get Ali over with the fans, and he had that initial run that was stopped by injury. It could put him back on the path.
I almost think that Ali needs to get drafted to Raw in the upcoming draft.
As a face or as a heel?
as a face.
Okay.
I think they could,
Because Rollins is a face. If he keeps that belt.
with WWE, with SmackDown possibly becoming like the A show, I could see Ali getting lost in the shuffle a little bit in the upcoming landscape of things, and maybe being brushed aside for bigger names on SmackDown. I feel like a move to Raw and guidance from Heyman, could be could be something that helps him. I think he needs it.
Certainly, Heyman has proven over numerous decades to know what to do with guys that size.
Yeah.
And put him over.
I feel like if there's anyone who can help him right now, it's Heyman and everything he's doing. So yeah, that's what I would like to see, because I don't know what it is about Ali, but he's lost some of that initial rush.
Ah, gotcha.
Right?
Yeah.
That initial like wow factor of people being like all excited about him. I think like bad or not, it all kind of shuffled over. It all kind of got transferred over to Kofi during that run.
Exactly.
So yeah, I think moving shows might be what might be best for him.
But then again, if he stays on SmackDown and becomes a heel, eventually taking on Kofi could work, because that's your storyline there, right? And once he's done with Lesnar, maybe he, is a heel turn down the road and he's like, you took my spot, you took the thing I had, blah, blah, blah.
I just have a hard time believing they're going to take that road anytime in the near future with Fox, with it being on Fox right now.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Like, they've got to come with the big guns right now.
That's true.
And I'm not saying that Ali isn't a big gun necessarily, but he's not like
he's not a big gun right
point.
now.
You know what I mean? Like,
he's
talented as hell in the ring. I like watching him. I think he does dope promos and stuff, but I don't know if they see him as like the guy who they should be showcasing at the top right away on Fox.
That's fair. I agree with that. All right, let's move on. Next, we got New Day taking on the B Team. Remember the B Team? They showed up to take on the New Day. New Day took care of business. No surprise here. Was anything gained from this match other than putting the New Day on television?
I think it was put New Day on television there. I mean, at least they gave B Team more time than I expected.
Yeah, it still was a glorified squash match.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. Not much to discuss.
All right, let's move on. That's then Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville, Fire and Desire, took on Asuka and Kairi Sane. Lord God, Asuka and Kairi Sane brought it in this match big time. I think if you're not going to have Paige there to promote you, to be the mouthpiece, to be on the mic to promote you, then you've got to have your wrestling stand out. And these two really understood that task in this match.
Yep, these were the other two people I was talking about when I said that people felt like they had to remind everyone that like why they were a thing before and why they used to get used more often. For Kairi Sane, it was NXT. For Asuka, it was every brand.
Yeah, true.
And like you said, these two killed it. Like, they came out and they were just like, you could tell they were both energized and ready to wrestle.
Yes,
like on
they
television.
Were ready to wrestle.
They wanted to wrestle. Like, they both been probably bored. You know, they were like, this is what we do best. So yeah, I really enjoyed this match.
And can I ask you a question? Is Kairi getting bigger? Like, I looked last night, it looked like she was getting
a little more buff.
Yeah, a little more buff. And I was like, oh, this may be what she's kind of this perception that she's this kind of waifish, skinny little thing. This is a way to kind of combat it a little bit and start going towards a possibility of having her own run as a champion or going for those belts. All of that is in play. She just looked stronger last night. So I wonder.
Honestly, I'd have to relook.
Okay.
I'm not sure. It's not something I like immediately noticed. But I did think that, like, man, like, when I was watching this last night, I was thinking to myself, why have they not been using these two?
Yeah.
These two are like, Asuka, when she came in, she was there with a purpose.
Cleared the house,
and just has such a presence.
Yeah.
You know, I understand what Kairi's saying a little more because she's newer to the main roster, has to acclimate to things, still has things to learn. But Asuka was undefeated on the main roster for a while. Like, you know, she was a presence on the show. The fact that, you know, they can't find something for her to do lately is crazy.
Yeah.
I think that maybe they were waiting to see how long Paige was going to be out of action, so they put them together.
Right.
It also wouldn't surprise me, unfortunately, to see them get split up in the draft.
But do you think that that's possible. Coming on, look, Fire and Desire were kind of in line for these belts, and now it feels like with this victory, Kairi Sane and Asuka are more in line for these belts. Would they put these belts that can go on both federations on a couple of Asian wrestlers who aren't really, who there have been complaints about their mic work?
I don't see why they wouldn't.
Okay.
I mean, Nakamura is a champion right now.
I'm asking because people have right, but you're not. But they gave him Sami Zayn to be the mouthpiece.
Yeah, but he's been champion without Sami Zayn.
He has been, absolutely. But I wonder if they would do that. I would like to see them do that. I'm certainly a fan of that happening.
Yeah, I don't see why
I wonder
if
they would be restricted.
I mean, Asuka was champion, like I just said, for like a year, so I don't see why. I don't think the language thing is the reason necessarily. I think it's more just like, I mean, it could be, but I don't think it's why they're not winning. I don't know. I honestly have no idea what the reason is, so I shouldn't make an assumption.
I think you don't assign Paige to them unless you understand that a mic work is an issue here. I think that's a statement.
I don't know if you say it's an issue of more so like they'd be better if they had a mouthpiece.
Yeah. Well,
you know what I mean? They'd connect more with the crowd if they had a mouthpiece.
Did you like how Mandy and Sonya? I thought Sonya was even more brutal than she's been in a while. I liked that. Did you? I thought Mandy was good.
I also feel like they teased a little bit more dissension between the two of them.
Yes, they did.
They had that thing backstage with Otis too, where Otis asked for the selfie, and she was like, "You're more focused on Maxim than our match or whatever." So there's a little bit of like, something going on there. So maybe that's probably, I mean, like I think they're gonna break up.
They always
soon.
tease the possibility of breaking up, and they never do.
Those two breaking up every few months.
Break it up or starting a relationship or breaking up. It's so weird.
It's true.
Yeah. They can't figure out what to do them because I don't know if they 100% believe that they're ready.
Split them up in the draft. Yeah, that's what I think is best.
That's not bad.
I think Sonya
needs to be on her own.
Needs to be on her own.
Yep.
And same for Mandy. I think Mandy is good enough to be on her own. I don't think they need each other. I know they're best friends and they've got their YouTube channel, but like that's not more important than the ultimate goal of like where you fit best in the weekly television programs.
If Mandy goes to Raw, there's no reason Mandy can't be in Natty's positions for everything Natty's been doing.
Who? Sonya?
Mandy.
Mandy.
There's no reason Mandy can't be in Natty's positions for everything
I don't know
Natty's
if I agree
doing.
with that.
I'm just saying.
Well, Natty's there because she's a trusted veteran who they can trust to do things.
But if you're going to build this, and Natty's like you said, she's a veteran. If you're going to build Mandy to the point where she can be considered a superstar in the ring, not just outside of it, you got to give her these positions against these like more higher end wrestlers.
Right? Oh yeah, no, I just meant in terms of filling the role Natalya fills. I mean, Natalya's there when they need a veteran to kind of step in and handle business.
I meant more the storylines and stuff. Yeah. And Sonya definitely needs to be on her own. She can build up that brand in a separate way. And we'll see. We'll see what happens to both of them. We'll see with the draft coming up. I think everything is going to be crazy once the draft gets thrown up in the air.
Yeah, I think so too. But I think I could actually see both these teams being split up.
Yeah. I would love to see Asuka go back into the title picture immediately.
Yeah, me too.
She was great last night.
Yeah, I agree.
Fucking hell. All right. Kevin Owens comes in. This whole Kevin Owens, Shane McMahon thing. Look, I was ready to hate this so much, especially after the tweet of like, bring Kevin Owens back and have a conversation. I was like, this is going to be so lame. But I actually ended up liking this because they let Kevin Owens insult Shane and the fans got behind him. And I thought, and that's what we had said was the whole point that was missing of this whole thing was Kevin being afraid. And now that he doesn't have to be afraid, this works so much better.
Agreed. I think that, everything about this version of Kevin Owens is better. When he's acting like he doesn't care, that's when he's at his best. For sure.
Right.
Even down to his clothing. Like I know that, WWE talent is supposed to, they have their talent wear their merchandise on TV to help sell it. I mean, like it's a vehicle to sell merchandise, sell live events. These people are salesmen. And so I get why they wear their shirts on TV, but when talent is allowed to wear something else, I think it like brings so much more character to them. Kevin just coming out in a shirt he would actually wear. And it's weird because, I don't think, I'm trying to think of the right way to word this, but like, I don't think Kevin Owens is like overweight. He's in better shape than me. But WWE shirts, sometimes the thick material can kind of make you look bigger. Like, you know what I mean? Like, have you ever...
Yeah, I'm wearing my boss shirt. At times, when I put it on, you can see my stomach a little more than normal.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a little frustrating.
I feel like sometimes those thicker shirts do kind of make you look a little bigger sometimes.
Yeah, they don't shape you well, but they help you if you work out, because then you look way more buff at top.
Because it's tight.
Yeah, it's tight.
So it's either really tight, and if it's not really tight, then it sometimes can make you look a little bigger.
Oh, yeah.
I felt like the shirt he was wearing last night was very slim fitting.
Yep.
A shirt that Kevin Owens would have actually worn out that he feels comfortable in.
Right.
And it made like a world of a difference for some reason, in my opinion. Like it was like, and I'm not saying like just looking at him wise, you go like, wow, that was like a real slim fitting shirt. Like it really is. Maybe I'm not saying I think that he is larger, but you know what I mean? Like it's like,
absolutely.
It made him look like a slimmer, like ready to fight kind of dude that I feel like they should let him wear his own clothes more often.
Yeah, I agree. It gets over with the fans. And if you're going to make him representative of the people, representative of the fans, he's got to dress like one of the fans. Again, you got to feel like, oh, I could wear that, and he could be one of my buddies having a beer with me at the bar type vibe. Certainly, Kevin Owens has always been that kind of guy when he's face. So lean into it even more. It's not a negative, I think.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
And let's get this straight. I am also a guy who is, not necessarily like super skinny, and so I know what it's like where sometimes like some shirts are more slim fitting, like that make you look slimmer than others or whatever, so that's all I meant by that. And the lawsuit stuff itself, I also was like ready to hate it.
Yeah.
I was just like, I don't want to hear people discussing a lawsuit on TV.
Yeah, like we did that in the 90s, man, or the early 2000s. This team of lawyers walking out with these like nobody buys that bullshit anymore. Nobody. It's an old trope. We move on. You have to move on from that crap. That crap is ridiculous. A contract signing, that's something else. But a team of lawyers that comes out with the standard silver suitcase is like so fucking lame.
Yeah. I don't disagree there. They did the best they could in this scenario.
I thoroughly agree. They saved it.
Yeah.
When it was like really going right into the shitter, they saved it, pulled it back out, and now we have a match between Kevin and Shane for all the marbles.
Which there's no way it's going to be done after that. There's no way.
Well, either way, I think Kevin Owens wins, and then maybe it's done. They move Kevin onto something else. Shane gets onto something else.
I have a hard time believing that going into Fox, they're getting rid of Shane. Maybe. Actually, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. You don't need Shane for Fox. You don't.
That's a good question.
This is where you got to start looking at the brand overall as it moves. Look, this is no different than a wrestler going from one lower level to the next level, right? And I'm not saying obviously WWE is a lower level. I'm saying the WWE going from USA to Fox, that's a massive jump.
Yes.
That's a higher level.
Yes.
So you got to be like, okay, what's overall is going to work to push this show and this brand to the most amount of viewers? Does Shane McMahon do that? I don't think he does.
Yeah,
the wrestlers do that, and that's what you need to promote, and the storylines.
Fair.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, that certainly makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I think Fox has more pull than USA.
Yeah.
At least at this point. USA still has pull, obviously.
I think Fox can tell WWE what works, and not a lot of people have been able to do that ever.
I don't know if they can just tell them, but they have their words hold much more weight than others have.
Fair. Maybe since Dick Ebersol. Maybe at NBC with the main event.
It's not a bad comparison at all. And Dick Ebersol did have a pull. So
he did.
Yeah, I think that's very great. That's a great comparison. So because maybe it's possible they said, hey, the fans are not enjoying this Shane stuff.
Yeah.
We don't want him to be a central figure of the show when you guys bring him here. And
right.
Maybe they maybe not get rid of Shane, but do something else with him.
It does. If you turn him into a standard general manager, then it's fine. Because then he's booking stuff and he's creating what the wrestling. If you turn him off, I don't know.
I don't need him.
Okay, fair enough. I don't disagree. Well, there you heard it from the mouth of Ryan Satin. He does not need Shane McMahon in this. It's been judged. All right, we're at the end of our recap for this episode of the SmackDown Live recap. Any last words about the episode? Are you good?
I think I'm good.
All right. Where can they find, read, and watch everything we do, man?
ProWrestlingSheet.com. That's the website where you can find all the top stories in the world of professional wrestling throughout the week. At Wrestling Sheet on social media, youtube.com/C/Wrestling Sheet. That's where you can find all the videos that we do here. I shouldn't say Raw and SmackDown recaps because this one's going to be taking a little bit of a hiatus. But the Raw recaps will be there. Wrestling Sheet Radio will still be there. I'm working on the rest of the schedule, so stay tuned. Also, make sure you subscribe to our podcast feed as well on all the major podcast platforms. Just search for Wrestling Sheet Radio. I'll hopefully be having more information soon on the rest of the schedule, so just stay tuned for all of that.
Boom, there you go. You follow him at Ryan Satin, follow me at The Rocha Says, and let us know what you thought about that SmackDown. Let us know what you think is going to happen. Should Shane be part of the mix next week when they debut on Fox or in the?
Well, it would be.
Or 2 weeks.
It'd be like the draft.
Yeah, the draft. Sorry, the draft and all that kind of stuff. Do you think should be a part of it? Let us know. And what are your thoughts about Hell in a Cell? It's coming up here in the next 2 weeks as well. So, all right, that's everything. Have a great rest of your Wednesday. And thanks to all of you who've been watching the SmackDown Live recap as it's gone through the different iterations, different forms. Obviously, they're going to a next form now. But me personally, I've appreciated you all watching and listening to these recaps as they've gone along. So thank you. And thanks to Ryan.
And me too. I appreciate it very much. I'm working on it, guys. Don't worry. I'm working on it.
There we go. All right. Talk to you soon. Take care.
ProWrestlingSheet.com